Hello dear student, I hope that all of you are safe and fine. With you Mr. Muhammad Khidr in lesson 5 chapter 5. Will we talk about kingdom Animalia? Animalia belongs under it all animals. Animals are characterized by that all of them multicellular eukaryotes and have ability to move and transport. They have the ability to quickly respond to outer environmental stimuli. Most of them reproduce sexually. Kingdom Animalia was divided into 9 phyla, so this kingdom is the biggest kingdom in classification. Some of these phyla have vertebral column and called vertebrates, while those which not have any vertebral columns are called invertebrates. Phylum Porifera or sponges. Sponges are animals with simple structured body, immobile living organisms, and have unsymmetrical bodies containing many pores and canals. Sponge is characterized by a flask-shaped or tube-shaped body, and this body is hollow and has a wall containing many pores and canals. So sponges are also called porifera. Porifera means pores barrier. Body wall may be supported by fibers, spicules, or both of them. Most of them are hermaphrodite and reproduce sexually by fusion of gametes. Some of them reproduce asexually by budding and regeneration as a type of asexual reproduction. Example, sponge animal. Sponges are classified as animals, though they are immobile because they are multicellular heterotrophic organisms whose cells lack cell walls. They have few specific cells. Phylum Canidaria. Canidaria are aquatic animals whose bodies have radial symmetry and have chondrocytes. Chondrocytes means stinging cells. Stinging cells used for prediction and eating and hunting of victims. Characteristics of Canidaria. Canidaria are aquatic and live alone or in colonies. They don't have heads. Their bodies have cavity called vascular digestive cavity, and the mouth is surrounded by extensions and projections called tentacles. Body cells are arranged in two layers. The outer layer have stinging cells called chondrocytes, which protects the animal and helps it in hunting prey. Chondrocytes number increases in tentacles, like you see in Hydra and in sea anemone. Phylum Platyhelminthes or flatworms. Flatworms characterized by flat bodies and head. Their bodies are formed of 3 layers. Outer layer called ectoderm and inner layer called endoderm and middle layer called mesoderm. Most of them are parasite and the rest are free-living. Most of them are hermaphrodite. They contains both male and female genital systems, and the rest are unisexual that may be differentiated into males and females. Flatworms have three classes like planaria, tapeworm, bilharzia worm. Phylum Nematoda or round or cylindrical worms. They have cylindrical shaped body with 2 ends. These ends are tapered. Their size range from microscopic to few meters. Their bodies are formed of 3 layers like platyhelminthes and have lateral symmetry. They have alimentary canals with 2 openings, mouth and anus, and both of them are lack in platyhelminthes. They are unisexual organisms and they also differ in this point with platyhelminthes, which most of them are hermaphrodite. They live in all environments. Some of them are living in water and soil, and the other parasite on animals, plants, and humans, like a scarce worm and filaria worm. Phylum Annelida. Annelida, called segmented worms, live in soil tunnels and is responsible for aeration of soil and increasing its fertility like an earthworm. They characterized by that most of them are free living in salt water, fresh water, and soil. Small of them are external parasites. Their bodies are divided into rings and have thorns. The thorns present on their skins and help them to move and directed their bodies. Some of them are unisexual and small of them are hermaphrodite, like earthworm and the medical leech. Phylum Arthropoda. Phylum Arthropoda, they are animals. Their body are divided into number of segments. Some of the segments have paired identical appendages. This segmented body is divided into any parts covered by exoskeleton for protection. Arthropoda have three classes like crustacea. Crustacea, their bodies divided into two parts, cephalothorax and abdomen. Body is covered with chitinous cuticle, and they have joint appendages which have different shapes to perform different functions and complex eyes. They can breathe by gills like shrimps, crab, and crayfish. Class Arachnidia. Arachnidia like spiders and scorpions. Their bodies are divided into two regions, the cephalothorax and the abdomen, like arthropoda. They have four pairs of legs for movement, so each one of them contains 8 legs. They respire by book lungs or air trachea, and they have simple eyes and they are unisexual. Class Insecta. Insecta contains all types of insects. Their bodies divided into three parts: head, abdomen, and chest or thorax. They have a pair of complex eyes and two pairs of wings. They breathe by air trachea, and they have three pairs of legs. That means 6 legs, like ants, bees, cockroach, locust, butterflies, and mosquito. Class Myriapoda, or the animals with many legs. Their bodies are divided into two parts, head and trunk. The trunk means thorax and abdomen fused to each other. They have many legs, maybe 44 or above. They breathe by air trachea like Scolopendra, which have 44 legs. Phylum Mollusca. Mollusca, that means animals with soft bodies. Most of them live in salt water, some of them in fresh water, and a small number of them on the ground. They have soft bodies and they have a muscular foot for movement, that called foot tube. They have calcareous shells that, that may be external, internal, absent, or unseen. They have heads with sensation organs and they may be absent. They have an organ like tongue that carrying a teeth called radula, which is used for feeding, and most of them are unisexual. Small number of them is hermaphrodite like the octopus and the snail. Phylum Echinodermata. Echinodermata, their body is not divided or not segmented into parts, and it has a solid endoskeleton. Many of them have prickles and calcareous plates or sheets on the body wall. They have structures like suckers called tube feet to can be fixed them on a solid support. The body may be cylindrical or star-shaped like starfish. They move by arms like starfish, prickles or tube feet like sea cucumber and sea hurricane. They are unisexual and reproduce sexually by formation of gametes and asexually by regeneration. They don't have anterior or posterior ends, but their bodies have two sides, oral side and aboral side. Phylum Chordata.